Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's me Dheeraj here. So in today's sessions, I will going to cover the cell scripting parts. So whether you are a beginner or you are experienced professionals, if you are planning to switch to DevOps profiles or if you are new to this Linux or cell scripting parts, I strongly believe this video is very useful for you because as far as the DevOps is concerned, this cell scripting basically plays very vital roles. That's why it's going to be very important. So I will try to cover all those aspects related to this cell scripting parts here. And in between those, if you find any difficulties, you can feel free to ask me anytime. So as far as this cell scripting is concerned, it can be basically done a lot of ways. But in these sessions, I will try to cover it in context of Bash shell scripting. You can done shell scripting in Python as well, but in this session, I will try to cover the Bash portions here. So without wasting too much time, let's proceed. So as far as the DevOps is concerned, shell scripting, like whenever in the previous session, I have tried to cover the Linux part here. So in continuation of that, I have basically I just plan to make a videos on shell scripting separately. That's why I used to discuss these things here. So now the first, like whenever we are studying anything, we just have to get aware that what is this. That's why the first point is what is shell scripting. Shell scripting, it means a shell is basically a file which contains a sequence of Linux commands executed by shells. Like whenever we are in the previously, I have told you we have a lot of Linux command. So whenever we have a sequence of Linux command and whenever we have to execute those all sequence of Linux commands simultaneously, then in that case what we are doing, we are basically creating a script, and in those script we are basically trying to write all those Linux commands. So whenever are executing those shell script, all those Linux command is basically going to be executed by the shells. Fine. That's why shell scripting is basically a execution of the sequence of Linux commands which has been written inside a shell script. Fine. Now the question is like shell scripting is used in like why we are studying it. Is there in what are the application of the shell scripting? So the shell scripting is basically be used to automate the repetitive tasks. Like whenever we have to do the task again and again in this case also, we are basically explicitly using this shell scripting parts here. Apart from this, we are basically be using this shell scripting to manage servers as well. Like whenever you will work in the on the servers, you have to manage so many servers there. So managing so many servers nowadays, each and everything is basically going to be automated. Fine. So as we are adopting the automations, managing server is basically like it previously it was a tedious jobs to managing all servers, but as in the evolution of automations, with the help of shell scripting, we can eventually we can easily manage those servers here. Apart from this, we can deploy application, we can monitor the system's health check, and we can automate the CI/CD deployment. So these are basically the applications of the shell script, like where it has been used here. Fine. Now there are some common cells are there which like bash cells are there, SSH cells are there, corn cells are there, fish cells are there. Out of which bash is very important, and in this session also I will try to cover bash scriptings only. So here it's written like most DevOps engineer basically use bash scripting. The scripting is very popular. That's why we are basically studying this. But it can be done in other ways. I like Python, like scripting can be done in Python as well. So it's up to you, like whether you are going with Python or whether you are going with Bash. So because you should have good practice on any of these two scripting languages. Both are fine. Now, in the first sections, I will tell you like what are the agenda of today. So this is basically the agenda of today's session here. Firstly, I have already told you what is shell scripting. After that, I will tell you like how you have to create your full shell script. After that, I will tell you how we are handling with the variables, how we are creating variables in shell scripting. Moving forward, we will also study about how we have to take like the inputs from the users, what are the command line argument, what are the control statements and iterative statements. It means we have to like we will just study about the loopings here, if and else nested statements are there. These we will study in these sections here. Then after we will study about the functions also, how we are basically working with the files. It will, like switch cases we will study, how we have to like debugging the cell scripting. And at last, we will study about some advanced concept related to the cell scripting part. So in this session, I will try to cover all those fundamentals from basics to advanced here. So I'm going to start from the second points here, like how you have to create your first cell script. Fine. So moving forward, I am basically going to refer this putty here. Like it's basically a WSL, not putty. It's basically WSL. So I will tell you how, like which, one second, just give me time, it's loading. WSL is basically loading. I'm basically using WSL here, but it's taking too much time here. Okay. This is fine. Now, cell scripting. Okay. So I'm going to write all those script in these directories only. So first like whenever how we have to create our first shell script and how we have to write it down. These things, this is basically first things we have to do. Okay, I will tell you how we have to. Let us suppose if let us suppose I'm going to create a shell script, first shell script with a file name hello something. So I'm going to create a hello script here. Fine. And in the insert mode, firstly we have to put here bash C bang line here. Fine. It means these things are like very essential and it's like constant. Like whenever you are writing any shell script, you have to put these lines at the top. It's a C bang line. What it does is basically tell the system to use the bash interpreter. That's why we are basically mentioning these lines here. So as it's a bash, that's why we have written here bin bash here. So it is it's mandatory and it's always be written at the first line or always, or you may second line, but it should always be written at the top. After this, we have to write our like what we want to print. Let us suppose if we want to print some like hello DevOps engineer, hello DevOps engineer, and in the second line, let us suppose I want to print something like welcome to shell scripting. Fine. We have to save this file here with WQ. It has been saved. You can see here. But if you observe this like if you, I think you are quite familiar with the permissions here. The first three, it means the user has read-write permissions, group has only read permissions, and others has read permission. But like whenever we are executing those shell script, first like user should must have execute permission. That's why we have to explicitly add the execute permission to the particular script here. That modifications we have to do. The first thing what we are doing, firstly, we are basically creating a shell script. We are writing some line inside it. Firstly, we are putting the cbang line. Then after we are writing some codes here. After that, we save it. After saving, second thing that we have to do is we have to make it executable. Executable, it means we have to give the users execute permission. How we are giving the some permissions to a file? We have chmod commands here. Fine. What we are doing, we are doing user the execute permission. U plus X, it means we are going to, we are basically trying to give the user the execute permission. That's why we are basically explicitly mentions here u plus x. Then after the file names here, hello.ssh, fine, press enter. So whenever we are giving the execute permission, if you observe it, the color has been changed here from white to green. Fine. Green, it means the user have execute permission. Just observe it. Previously, user have only read and write permissions, but after giving these permissions, the user have now execute permission. Now, how we are executing the like how we are running the script, we have there are basically two ways. Either you use bash and then the name of a script here, fine. This is also fine. It just printed the output like hello DevOps engineer, welcome to self scripting. Or you can use dot slash here, dot slash and the name of a script here, fine. Both are fine. So to run a script, we have two methods. Either you use bash hello.ssh or we use dot slash hello.ssh. Both are fine. So this is the like way through which we are basically running the script here. That's why it's been mentioned here. Firstly, we have to create a file. We have created a file with the name hello.ssh file. Then after we are adding some code here. Firstly, this is the cbang line. Then after we are adding some two lines like hello DevOps engineer, welcome to cell scripting part. This done. The first one is done. Second step is also done. And the third step, what we are doing, we have to make the file executable. That's why we are basically adding the execute permission. Here, if you are if you are just putting chmod plus x hello.ssh, it means this plus execute permission is going to be added to all three. It means user, group, and others all. But it's necessarily that's why here I've just given the execute permission to only user only. It's fine. From the best practices, we should have to follow the list access policies here. After that, how we are to run? Either we can use bash hello.ssh or we use dot slash. Both are fine. Fine, and this is output. I've already told you this is cbang line, and it basically tells the systems to use the bash interpreter. That's how we are basically firstly creating our shell script. So this is our shell script. This is basically our first shell script that we have run. What we have done, we have basically printed the something like hello DevOps engineer, welcome to shell script on the terminal. It means we have successfully created our first script here. Fine. Likewise, move to the next point here. Next point, it means we will study about the variables in shell script, like how we are storing the variables and how we are accessing those variables here. Fine. So in this, now I'm going to create another script with the name variable here. What in the insert mode, firstly we have to write those cbang lines here slash bin bash here. After that, once we have been able to write this, what we have to let us suppose I'm going to create two variables. The first variables I'm going to create a name and want to put like Dheeraj in it. Fine. After that, I want to create one more variables with the name company here. Fine. Company. And want to give it name as Infosys here. Fine. What I have done, I have created basically two variables. The first variable is name, in which I have stored the Dheeraj, and in the second variables I have created company, and in which I have stored the Infosys. Fine, these two are fine. Now we have to access it. Like how we can access those variables here? We have to access those variables with the dollar symbols here. Echo is basically we used to print the output on terminal. That's why we are basically using here echo here. So echo, then after my name is dollar name. One thing that you have to notice that these and these both should be same. Fine. You can't like if here you have mentioned capital N, then here also you have to mention the same capital N. Fine. So that's how these things you have to keep in your mind. Echo, my name is Dheeraj, and then after let us suppose if I'm writing like I am working at dollar company. Fine. What I have done, firstly, I have created two variables, name and company, and I'm basically going to access those variables here. That's why I have used here dollar here in those cases. Just save is ESC colon WQ. Oh, sorry. Escape colon WQ. Enter. The same things you have to do. Chmod u plus x and then variables dot sh fine. Now the color has been changed from white to green. Now you have been able to execute it. Just print dot slash and variables dot ssh. It means my name is Dheeraj and I am working at Infosys. So that's how we are basically accessing those variables here. Fine. The next is like how we have to take input from the user. Fine. This is also very important. I will tell you like how we can do. How we have to take input from the user here. So for this, let us suppose I'm going to create a one more script layer, user input like this, user input dot ssh. Fine. And here, firstly, I have to put cbang line here. What I want, firstly, I want to print on the terminal like enter your name like this, then echo enter your names, enter your name. Fine. And I want to, yeah, this is fine, enter your name. And then I want to read it those name. Fine, this fine. After that, what we have to do? We have to use like what we are trying to do. We are basically trying to take the user input. Here it will prompt enter your name whenever user is entering the name. It's basically going to be taken by the read operations here. That's why read names has been mentioned here. Now echo and then after inside it we have to mention hello here, and for accessing those variables we have to mention dollar here. Fine, just press semicolons here, the same things here, make this script executable. That's why u plus x here and then user. Fine. Now check whether the color has been changed. Yeah, color has been changed. Now what you have to do, either you have to use dot slash enter your name. Let us suppose if I'm mentioning here Dheeraj Singh, hello Dheeraj Singh. Fine. Likewise, you can do. I'm going to basically do a bit modification in this script here. Just observe it. Fine. What I want to do in, we can write it like this as well. Instead of echo, I'm just going to use read hyphen p here. It means read had a flag like hyphen p. So in what it does, like it basically pop up like it basically prompt enter your name on the screen and it will wait for your response. Whenever you are putting your name here, it's basically be going to store in the name variables here. Fine. That's why you can write it like this as well. Read hyphen p, enter your name and echo hello name. I'm going to save it. Fine. Now check whether the it has a execute permission. Yeah, it has a execute permission. It means we are good to execute those script here. Users dot ssh enter your name. If I'm entering here, Dheeraj Singh, and when we are pressing enter here, hello Dheeraj Singh. Fine. So both are fine. How we are basically taking the input from the user? We have to use here read. Okay. This also fine. This section's fine. This done. Fifth one, like command line argument. This is very important. I will tell you like what is command line argument and how we are basically using it. Like whenever we are running, like whenever we are running the script, like whenever we are executing the script, at that times whatever the inputs we are basically giving, those inputs will be basically considered as an argument here. I will tell you like how these things has to be work. Firstly, I'm going to create a script with the name like command line argument cmd argument dot ssh. Fine. What we are doing, you have to write the same things here, shebang lines here, main bash, and then what we want to echo in the like we have some numeric. Firstly, I will tell you the some theories here. Here, basically, like if we are mentioning $0, it means it basically going to print the script name here. Whenever we are basically using the $1 to 9, it's basically going to print all those arguments from first to ninth. If you have to like get the number of argument here, we have to use here dollar either dollar hatch or yeah dollar hatch for number of argument. But for all argument to print all the argument, we have to put either dollar at the rate or dollar star also. So these are the like these are basically be used in case of command line arguments. I will show you like how it's working now. Echo, and we have written a script like a script name, and a script name can be fetched by $0. After that, echo, then after first argument, first argument, fine. For first argument, it can be print by $1. Then after the same like second argument, $2. Likewise, first argument's done, second argument also done. Now we want to print all those arguments. So echo, then all arguments. So for all argument, either we have to use dollar star or we can use dollar at the rate. But here I am basically going to go with dollar star here. Fine. Then after number of arguments, number of arguments. For number of arguments, we have to use here dollar hatch here. Fine. Then after at last, like we just have to check like whether the like whatever the last command we have executed, whether it has been executed successfully or failed. So to check the status of the last command executed, we are basically using the dollar question mark symbol here. Fine. I will say excellent. I will tell you like how. So status of last command executed, whether it's success or failed. It can be checked by dollar question mark. Fine. This is fine. It means these are the whole script. What we have done. Firstly, like I will tell you, firstly I have to save it. Now the same thing we have to make it executable here. It means user have to given the execute permission for this script here. The same things we have to do. Fine. Now what we are doing? Firstly, we have to execute it dot slash cmd. Fine. Now we have to pass the argument here. So let us suppose if I am passing the argument like First argument is 100 and second argument is 200 and third argument is 300 and fourth argument is 400 and fifth argument is 500. Fine. Total we have passing the five argument here. Just press enter here. Fine. It means just observe the result here. A script name, it means this is a script name. It means this is a script name, command line argument.ssh. So $0, it means it has printed the script name here. $1, it means they have printed the first argument. $2, second argument. Fine. Likewise, we have used here at that times of all argument, we have used dollar a star or dollar at the rate. So it has just printed all those argument here. Fine. After that, we have used number of argument. For number of argument, we have used dollar hatch. That's why total number of argument is 5. And last, like previously, I have used those commands here, ll. Whether it's executed successfully or not, that's why it printed 0 here. I will show you like if I am going to print some other commands like lp here, it fails. It's not executed successfully. Something like press enter. It will throw an error like mm, dot slash there is something there is dot at ssh. We don't have any. Now I'm going to use this. Just check. 1 second. This is the last one. Press enter. It means it executed successfully. That's why it's mentioned as the zero. Zero, it means success. One or non-zero, it means failed. Fine. Here it's executed successfully. That's why it's mentioned here zero. So that's how this like command line argument is basically working. This is the first argument, this is the second argument, this is the third argument, this is the fourth argument, this is the five argument. Fine. $0, it means it will print the script name here. $1, first argument, $2, second argument, $3, third argument, $4, fourth argument, $5, fifth argument, likewise till $9. Fine. After that, for all argument, we are basically using dollar star or dollar at the rate. For number of argument, we are basically using dollar hatch. And to check whether the status of the last command executed, we are basically using dollar question mark here. Fine. So this is all about the command line argument. This is done here. Now, moving to the conditional statements here. This is also very important. Conditional statements. It means inside that conditional statements, we will study what the if statement, then after if and else statement, and we will study about else if statements. I will explain you one by one here. Firstly, I'm going with the if. So I'm going to create a script with if.sh. Fine. What we are basically doing, we have to basically write the cbang line here. Fine. So in the if conditions, let us suppose I am created a variable stain and have put store num and have a store 10 inside it. Fine. Now we are basically checking if those dollar num is greater than 5. If yes, then we want to just echo number is greater than 5. Number is greater than 5. And then for closing the if block, we are basically using the fi here, just opposite of, just flip the if here, fi. What we have done, firstly, we have basically declared variables num and have a store 10 inside it. Fine. Now we are applying the condition like if dollar of num is greater than 5, then it's basically going to print number is greater than 5 here. I will show you like how it's working here. We have to make it executable. Chmod u plus x, then after the if script here. Fine. It's fine now. Okay. I'm going to create a alias here. And inside that alias, going to use she is equal to clear. Fine. So from next times, we just not have to write whole clear here. I just use C and it will going to clear all those things. Okay, fine. If I have already created, now I'm going to execute it. Dot slash if press enter, it means number is greater than 5. If I'm going to do a bit modification in that script here, just put something different like in place of just put 3 here and check whether it's going to throw any error. Dot slash if, it means it doesn't going to throw any error. Fine. It means whenever we are putting 3, it means it doesn't give us any errors here. So we can solve this by using if and else statement. So in the next script, I'm going to explain like how if and else both are working. In the previously, like this is the first script, if one, and in this I've just mentioned only the if blocks here. Fine. Like if the dollar of num is greater than 5, it's going to print this set of statements here. Fine. Now I'm going to use if and else both here. Then just observe how that is working. Then if else dot ssh. Fine. Now I am going to mention the same C bang lines here. Now I want to take the input from user. That's why I'm going to use here read hyphen p and want to take input. Firstly, I will prompt like enter a number, and want to store it in a num here. Fine. And what I want to check like if those dollar num is greater than 0, then it's going to print that number. If they are greater than 0, it means it's a positive number. It's a positive number. Else we have to print negative number. And for closing the if blocks, we have to use here fi. Fine. What we have done, firstly, we have taken the input from the users, like enter a number. After that, we have put a conditions like if dollar of num, it means if the number is greater than 0, then it's going to print the positive number. Otherwise, it's going to print the negative numbers here. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to check whether it has execute. No, it doesn't have a execute permission. Then we have to give user the execute permission. Fine. Now it's fine. Now I'm going to execute it dot slash if else press enter. Let us suppose I'm pressing 6, it means it's a positive. Fine. If I'm pressing -9, it means it's a negative here. Fine. And if I am pressing something different like 0 here, just check what it will give whenever we are putting the 0. It means they have taken it, it's a negative. Why? Because I have just mentioned it here, like if the number is greater than 0, then only it's positive, otherwise it's negative. So it's just consider 0 as a negative number here. Fine. If I will mention here greater than or equal to 0, then it will going to print it as a positive number. Fine. That things you have to keep in your mind. Okay. If done, if and else, or if and else also does. Now I'm going to cover the else if also, which can be also known as elif. If condition, I have already told you. One more thing, like there are so many operators are there that I will tell you. EQ, it means it's equal to equal. NE, it means not equal. GT, it means greater than or. LT, it means less than. G, it means greater than and equal to. LA, it means less than equal to. Fine. So these things you have to keep in your mind. I'm going to explain the else if conditions as well, like vim, then elif dot sh. Fine. We have to write the same shebang lines here. What I want, firstly, I would like to take the input from the user, like enter your age. Fine. Enter your age. And I'm basically going to store it in age variables. Now what I want to apply a condition like if dollar of age is less than 18, then we have to print what we want to print. If the age is less than 18, we just have to print you are not eligible to vote. You are not eligible to vote. Fine. Else if either we use else if or we can use elif here. Fine. Elif dollar of age is equal to 18. We have to then we have to print you just became eligible to vote. You just became eligible to vote. Fine. And in the last case, we just have to mention else here. Else echo you are eligible to vote. You are eligible to vote. Fine. And for closing the blocks, you have to use FI here. Just observe the script here. What we done? Firstly, we have taken the input from the user like enter your age. After that, we have applied the condition like if age is less than 18, it means it's going to print you are not eligible to vote. If age is equal to 18, it means you just became eligible to vote. Otherwise, it's going to print you are eligible to vote. 1 second. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm back. So just save it. Okay. Escape colon WQ. Save it. Now we have to check like whether this particular file has execute permission or not. No, it doesn't have. So I'm going to give user the execute permission, chmod. Then after user plus x, then elif. Fine. It means now user have the execute permissions. Fine. Now I'm going to execute it. Dot slash elif. Enter. Enter your age. In first case, let us suppose I'm going to enter the 9 is here. You are not eligible to vote. Fine. Let us suppose I have put here 18 here. You just became eligible to vote. Fine. Again, I am putting some 25 here. You are eligible to vote. So I have tried all those possibility. In first case, I have put 9. You are not eligible to vote. In the second case, 18. It means you just became eligible to vote. In the third case, I just mentioned here. 25, it means you are eligible to vote. Just see the script here. This is basically the script here. So conditional statements, I have discussed all these three: if, else if, and if else, and elif. Fine. Now moving to the iterative statement. Iterating, it means it will basically consist the loop portion. It try to cover the looping portion. Iterating, it means it basically going to execute again and again. That's why the term iterative is mentioned here. Iterate, it means we will study about the loops here. Now, okay. In the loops, basically two loops are there, for loops and while loops. So firstly, I will try to cover the for loops here. So for dot ssh, fine. In the insert mode, we just have to write the same thing shebang lines here, fine. Now let us suppose what I want to print 1 to 5. So for I in 1 2 3 4 5 do echo what I want to print. I want to print the number and then dollar $I, fine. And for done. Here do and done is basically be used in for loop. Just save it, just change the execute permission to 4, fine. Now execute it. It means it just printed 1 2 3 4 5 till from 1 to 5, fine. This is basically my script here. Okay, one thing what I want, this is 1 2 3, it means we have explicitly mentioned 1 2 3 4 5 here. Can we, instead of 1 2 3 4 5, can we put here range like from 1 to 10? Yeah, we can put here range as well. I will show you like how we can put range here. I will try to cover those portions as well. So instead of putting or mentioning the delete time, we just have to use here curly braces, and inside that curly braces we have to mention like from 1 to 10. If I'm mentioning 1 to 10, it means it basically going to print from 1 to 10. Just escape colon WQ and just dot slash. It means it just going to print from 1 to 10. Fine. Can we do like, can we mention here steps like I want to print 1, then after 3, then after 5, then after 7, like this? Yeah, we can do. How? We just have to mention here a step as well, like column, where it is. Column and a step, it means by what steps we are basically going to be step up. So we are going to step up it by the two steps here. So just colon WQ and dot slash 4 do. It means it's going to step up by two. First one, it has printed 1, then 3, then 5, 7, 9. It means 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 9, like this. Fine. Can we do like reverse? Can we print the numbers in reverse? Yeah, we can print the number in reverse as well. How we can do? We just have to mention here like if I want to mention the numbers in reverse, like I want to print from 20, not 20, from 80. Let us suppose from 80 to 10, and I want the steps of 7, let us suppose, fine, or 7, or not 7. Just mention here 10 here. 10, just column WQ clear dot slash, then after for loop means C 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 21. It means it it's basically going to print the numbers in descending order. So likewise, you can apply any condition. So just observe the syntax for this. And like one more thing, like either we can write the for loop in this manner, or we have another methods as well. I will try to explain that methods as well. So we have multiple methods in the for looping here. So I will try to cover all those possible methods here. So let us suppose I'm going to erase this parts here. Fine. See how. So we have for I, not for I, for then we have to mention here I is equal to 1. It means we are basically mentioning I is equal to 1 and I should be less than or equal to, let us suppose 5. Fine. 10. Let us suppose 10. And I plus plus. It means I is going to increase every times. Then the same do, and in the echo I'm going to mention the same like number dollar I and done. Only modification that I have done in this part here. It means firstly I have initialized I is equal to 1 and this I will go still like it's basically if it's going to be till less than or equal to 10, and in each time it's basically going to be incremented by one value here. ESC WQ fine. Check whether this has, yeah, it has permission. Execute it. It means it's going to be execute from 1 to 10 like this. Likewise, you can apply the looping here. So I have tried to explain all possibility of the for loops here. This portion like 1 2 3 4 5, this one, this range 1 to 10. Then after 1 to 10 by stepping through. Then after this also add this. Now I will move to the next like while loops here. How while loops is basically be used here. It's also important. While loop, it means how it's working. Firstly, we have to initialize I is equal to something. Initially, let us suppose if I have initialized I is equal to 1 or 0. 0 are fine. Now what I want this loop to run while this dollar $i is less than or equal to 5. What it does, it's going to print those I like number dollar $i. Fine. And each time it's going to be incremented by those values already. That's why we have to mention here, we have to I plus plus. It means the value is going to be increase every times. Otherwise, it will be a case of infinite loop here. We have to make it executables here. That's why we have to mention here. Yeah, this is fine. Now fine. This is fine. Now what we have to do? We have to execute it. Firstly, I will show you the script here. This is basically the script here. I have initialize I is equal to 0. So this loop will it will be run till dollar of I is less than or equal to 5. Dot slash this. It means in first case, and like just check how it's working. I is equal to 0. It means 0 is less than 5. Yes, 0 is less than 5. It means 0 has been printed. Now the 0 has been increased to 1. Fine. Now 1 is less than 5. Yes, 1 is less than 5. 1 is printed here. It's the 1 is incremented to 2 here. Now 2 checking. 2 is less than 5. Yeah, 2 is less than 5. 2 has printed. Now it's incremented to 3 here. 3 is less than 5. Yeah, 3 is less than 5. It's printed 3 here. Now it's incremented to 4 here. 4 is less than 5. Yeah, 4 is less than 5. It's just printed 4 here. It's incremented to 5 here. Fine. Now checking 5 is less than or equal to 5. Yeah, 5 is equal to 5. So it's printed 5 as well. Now it's incremented to 6 here. Now checking 6 is less than or equal to 5. No, just it exit from the loop. Fine. So that's how this while loops is basically working here. So for loop and while loop both has been covered. So I think I have tried the conditional and iterative statements here. Now we have to move to the function here. Okay. How we are basically mentioning function in the bash scripting. So we have to just mention function, then function name, and inside that we have to put statements here. But one thing that we have to keep in your mind, like in the bash scripting, this function keyword is basically optional. It means even if you are not mentioning those function keywords here, it will run, that things will run smoothly. You won't face any errors here. That's why it's explicitly been mentioned here in the bash scripting, the function keywords is basically optional. So what are function? It means function is basically used to reuse the code. Like whenever we have to use the same operation again and again, we are not going to do the same operation again and again. It's basically tedious and it's basically a waste of time here. That's why to overcome this, we are basically creating a function here. So I'm going to create a script for function as well. Function dot ssh. Fine. And inside it, we have to mention the shame shebang lines here. And let us suppose I'm going to create our first function. Like in the first case, I'm going to use the function keyword here. Fine. Function. And let us suppose I'm going to create a function named greet. Fine. Then curly braces. Inside that curly braces, we have to mention echo, like echo hello, welcome to bash function, welcome to bash functions. Fine. And whenever we are creating a function, we have to call that functions as well. That's why we have to call it. Fine. The here the function is not going to take any argument. That's why we just have to call it. We just not have to put any parameters or argument here. Double semicolons. We have to make it executables as well. Function no fine no. Dot slash. It means hello, welcome to the bash scripting. Fine. Just observe the script here. What we have used here function keyword here. Just omit the function keyword and check whether it's will run smoothly or not. I'm going to remove those words. just mention greet here, greet, and the content within those. I'm going to add one more lines in those, one more lines, echo enjoy learning. Fine. I'm going to save it and want to run it again. Dot slash function. Fine. Hello, welcome to bash functions enjoy learning. It means those function keyword is basically optional here. Either you use function or not, both are also fine. Here we can, okay, I will try this also, like how this is working. Both are fine. Okay, I will show you that as well. No worries. I'm going to let us suppose what I have to do. I'm going to read those lines here. Fine. What I want to firstly create a add functions here, and after creating those add function, what I want to firstly like create some variables here, and inside that some variables, I want to get the sum of two command line argument, whatever we are passing. So for first argument, we are going to add it to the second argument. Fine. It means what we are doing, whenever we are passing the argument, command line argument, those two argument is basically going to get sum and it's basically going to be stored in the sum variables here. Fine. And after that, I am going to print the sum is this dollar sum here. Sum of two argument is dollar sum. Fine. And okay. And here we have to call the function here with those arguments. So if we are passing the argument 7 and 8, we are checking what does the output look like. So output may be 15 here. So we just have to cross verify it. So firstly we have to check whether it has execute. Yeah, it has execute permission. It means we are good to execute those script here. Function. It means the sum of two argument is 15 here. Fine. Okay, I will tell you one more thing, like how we have to check the even numbers. I will show you that as well. So for that also, I'm going to refer the same. What I want, firstly, I'm going to create a functions with the name check even. Fine. One second. Check even. And inside that check even, what I want to apply a condition here. What condition we are applying? Like whenever we are passing the argument, we are basically checking whether that $1 modulus 2 is equal to 0 or not. If it's 0, it means if the modulus is 0, it means it's basically a case of even number. Fine. So whenever we are dividing some numbers by 2 and if we are getting 0 as a remainder, it means that number is basically a even number. That's what logic we are basically applying here. Even even number. Fine. Otherwise, it means we have to mention here else echo odd number. So if the modulus is not going to be equal to 0, it basically becomes under the case of odd number. And we have to close the if block as well. And whenever one thing that you must not have to forget that whenever we are basically creating the function, we always have to call that function here. Fine. These things you just not have to forget. So check even we have called it and we are basically passing the argument as 7, checking whether the 7 is an even number or odd number. Fine. Escape colon WQ and whether checking it has execute permission. Yeah, it has execute permission. Now we are going to execute it. Dot slash function tab. It means it's a odd number. I have mentioned 7. 7 is an odd number. Fine. So that's how this function is basically be working here. So, okay. Right. Now, this portion has done, function portion has done here. Now move to the next one, like working with the files. How we are working with the file. So in this bash scripting, we can check like whether the file exists or not, whether any directory exists or not, whether the particular files has a read permission or not, they have execute permission or not, they have write permission or not. So these things, these all of those operations we can do or perform with the files here, especially in case of shell scripting. So I will try to explain one by one here, like how we are handling with the files here. So first script I am going to create for the file exist. We are just checking whether a particular file exists or not. Fine. So for that we have to create a file exist for a script here. So file exist dot ssh. Fine. And inside it every times we have to mention the cmd lines here. Now we have to apply a condition like if hyphen f for files here. What we are checking, whether we are checking whether hello.ssh file is there or not. Fine. If yes, then it should print file exist. File exist. Otherwise, it should print file not found or file does not exist. Fine. And for closing the if blocks, we are basically using fi here. Fine. So only thing that you have to keep in mind here we have used hyphen f. Hyphen f it means they will check for the files whether it has files or whether it has hello.ssh files or not. So just column wq save it, check whether it has a particular execute permission. No, it doesn't have. We have to manually give u plus x then file skip.ssh file. Now it has execute permission, clear it and just execute it. Yeah, file exists. It means hello.ssh file is there. Now I am trying to do a bit modification in that. It means instead of hello.ssh, I am going to mention some other name like dheeraj.ssh and check whether that particular file is there or not. No, file not found. It means dheeraj.ssh file is not there. Fine. Likewise, you can check for directories as well. Let us suppose if I am creating a directory with the name cell. Cell, let us suppose if we are creating a directory, it means we have a directory cell. I will show you. See, this is the directory cell is there. Fine. Now I am going to do a bit modification in my script here. So instead of F, I'm going to put here D, and here I am basically checking whether that cell directory is there or not. Cell is written in small now. Okay, control column WQ dot slash file. Yeah, file exists. It means directory is there. Fine. So that's how you can use this. And by the help of this, we can like check for some read or write permissions also. Let us suppose if you have to check whether the this file has execute permission or not. Fine. Hello.ssh. How we can do? We just have to check. Okay, I will tell you. Just go to this file exist.ssh. We have to do a bit modification. It means we are basically checking the execute permission for hello.ssh. It means firstly I will tell you for read permission. You can do for execute permissions as well, both are fine. I am checking whether the hello.ssh has read permission or not. Hyphen R for read, hyphen W for write, and hyphen X for executable. So here I am basically going with the read. So if read permission, then it should print like file has read permissions. Fine. If it doesn't, then it should print file doesn't has read permission. Doesn't have read permissions. Fine. Now check. We have to check whether it will give us the correct output or not. Just clear the screen. Fine. Now what we are doing, we have to execute it. File script.ssh. Yeah, file has a read permission. Just check here. This hello.ssh has a read permission. Fine. You can try with other options as well. Just do a bit modification here, and I'm not going to change the echo statements here. I'm just checking whether it has execute permission or not. If yes, then it's going to print the file has execute permission. Execute permission. Otherwise, it doesn't have execute permission. Fine. Column WQ dot slash file. Yeah, file has execute permission. It means user has execute permission. That's why it's mentioned here. File has execute permission. So that's how you can handle with the files. Now, okay, this portion is done. Now we have to move to the case statement. Case is just like a switch conditions. Fine. I will tell you how it's working here. So in the first, both are there. I will tell you with the switch cases here. One I will tell you, and other you can try from your side. Okay. Firstly, clear the screen here. What I want, I have to create a switch script as well. So I am basically trying to create a script for the traffic switch here. Like whenever user are putting the inputs like R, it's basically going to print the output like a stop. For for Y, it means for yellow, they are going to print the output like slow down. For green, it should print go like this, just like a traffic light. It is basically supposed to work. So firstly, you have to create a switch script here, switch.sh, and at the beginning, the same procedures we have to follow again. We have to mention the cbang lines and what in the switch cases. Firstly, I want to take input from user here. It means read hyphen p Then want to print like enter signals. Enter signal and want to prompt like either you have to red, yellow or green. It means out of these three, please enter anything and it's basically going to be printed, stored in the signals variables here. Now what I want to apply the case here. So case dollar signal in in it means if user is basically putting a small r or capital R. Fine, both are or either. What it does, it's basically going to print stop. Fine. So whenever you, or otherwise, if the user is entering y or a small y or capital Y, it's going to print slow down or be ready. Slow down, slow down. Fine. And in the third case, whenever user are putting or G or a small g or capital G, it should print like a go. And in the other cases, we have to mention that invalid signals. Fine. And just like for if, as we are basically closing the if with fi, in the same manner, we have to close case with ESAC, just opposite of case. Fine. Okay, we have to save it. And we have to check, yeah, we have to make the users execute, we have to give the users execute permissions as well. Fine. Now fine. Okay, now we have to execute those switch. Enter signals. If I am entering R, it means it just print stop. If I am entering Y, it means it just slow down. If I am entering G, it means it will G, it means it's basically through invalid signals. Let me have to check the script here. What went wrong? Yeah, it's fine. It should print go here. Why it's printed invalid signals here? Okay, capital G, invalid signals. Why? One second. Okay. Here I have just used a wrong symbols here. That's why I was became surprised like how why it shows that invalid. Okay, now we can try. If I am putting a small g, go. If I am putting capital G, go. Now it's fine. So that's how this switching basically working here. Once again, give me 1 second. I have to drink water here. 1 second. Yeah, I guess. So I have tried to cover this switch cases here. So after that, the next subtopic is debugging shell script. Fine. How we have to debug the shell script. So we have basically two options. Either we have to use bash -x in the name of shell script by the command line interface here, Like let us suppose if we want to debug the switch.ssh script here, what we have to mention? We have to mention bash -x and then have to put the script name as well. Fine. It means it's basically going to debug the whole script here. Like if I'm putting read, it means it's basically debugged. But if we want to debug, like if we want to mention the a particular line from the code here, then in that case, inside the script, we have to use here set -x to start like from the beginning and set plus x to just close it. So with the help of this, we can debug the shell script here. So mostly we are basically using set-x here. So either we have to use it at the runtimes here, or you can explicitly mention inside the shell script as well. So whenever we are mentioning inside the shell script, we have to use set-x and set plus x like this. Fine. This is basically the starting of the debugging line, and plus x, it means it's basically going to be the last like ending of the scripting line. That's how this debugging basically happens in the shell script here. So next section is basically the some practical examples are there. So I will try to cover some practical examples. So here three examples are mentioned here. The first one is like how we have to check the disk uses here. So as you already know, we are basically using df-h here. Let us suppose if we have to check the disk space use of the root file systems, how we are checking? We have to use here df-h and have to put here root. It means it basically going to get the output or the root like how much space is basically be available and how much percentage of the file systems has been used here. So the use is basically 1%. This is basically our like useful thing. So how we can extract these things here? So I think I have already mentioned the awk commands in the previous section. So if you haven't watched it, please feel free to watch those videos there. And those I think in those videos I have beautifully explained both sed and awk commands. So if you haven't watched it, please go and watch it. So how we can do? We have to use df-h this and then we have to use pipeline simon.dl and we have to firstly we have to go to the second rows here. So by the awk command inside that conditions we have to use number of row is equal to 2. Fine. After that we have to print which we have to print first field, second field, third field, fourth field, fifth field. It means we have to fetch the fifth field here. Fine. That's 1%. So these all things we have to mention in our script. Fine. Okay, now we have to create a script by the name disk uses. Fine. So how we can do? We have to create a disk uses disk uses.ssh script there. Fine. Inside this, the same things we have to mention. And here what I'm doing, I'm basically using to create a variable uses and I'm basically trying to put those things inside this uses here. So let me have to go to that portions here. Just copy all those from here to here. Control C. Now okay. Have to go to here insert mode and have to paste it. Fine. Now okay. We have created a variables. Now what I want to do, we just have to print those like echo disk uses is dollar uses. Fine. Escape colon WQ and checking whether this, yeah, we have to make it executables as well. Now dot slash disk uses, it means it basically disk usage is 1%. Fine. So that's how you can check the disk uses as well. Now And the second script, like we have to check this disk user, this is done. Example first is done, like how we have to check the disk user. It basically be used in server monitoring here. It's basically like practical examples are there. Like whenever you will start working as a DevOps or some cloud engineers, these like you can frequently use this script there. Second one is like how we have to create automated backup of some particular files here. Okay. So that portion I will also try to cover. So for backup also we have to create a script here. So I will tell you that as well. Like first backup dot ssh fine. And I am going to mention same things here bin bash. What we have to create two variables. One is source and the second one is destination. Fine. In the source, I have to put the source location there. Okay, escape colon WQ. What I want PWD. No. PWD. It means these are the okay. And here I am going to create a folder with the name backup here. Fine. Now I am going to save it. Control C. And I'm going to use it inside there. Source. This is basically a source. MNT. This up to shell scripting. And here I'm going to mention this. And after backup folder is there. It means what we are doing. We are basically trying to take the backup from this shell scripting folder and want to zip it. After zipping, it should be stored inside the backup folder. So backup folder is basically inside the shell scripting folder is there. So that's what we are basically trying to do. That's why we are basically created two variables. One is source and second one is destination. Then after we have to apply like condition tar hyphen czf. Czf it means we are this is basically used to create a tar files here. This is basically a syntax over there. Then after we have to put the um, tar backup name here, backup.tar, and as it's going to zip also, that's why we have to put .gz as well. And for which file they are going to zip, that's why we are basically referring it the source here. It means for source file, all those source files, it's basically going to create in a tar.gz files. Okay. After that, it should move backup.tar.gz to this destination folder. Fine. After that, it should print on terminal like backup completed successfully. Backup completed successfully. Fine. Okay. Now have to check. We have to give it execute permission. Okay. Now fine. Now I'm going to execute this backup folders here, script here. It means if you check it, yeah, this is fine. These errors are fine. Backup completed successfully. Now just press LL just to go to backup folders here and check is there any tar file? Yeah, backup tar.gz file is there. Fine. It means our backup has been created successfully. So this is basically a example second is done like how we have automatically backup the script there. After there is one more examples there like how we have to check the running services. That also I will explain. So firstly, we have to go back to the previous directory there. Now, as we have to check the services status, so we have to create a script with the name service.ssh fine, and inside it we have to mention the same things here bin bash. What we have to mention? Firstly, we have to create a variables with the name service and have to nginx. Let us suppose we are checking whether nginx is running or not, and we have to apply a condition like if systemctl is active, then it's going to print echo dollar service is running. Fine. Else it should print what it should print dollar service is stopped. And after that, if it stops, then up to this is fine. Then just close it. Close the if statements here, and have to check whether this has a permission or not. No, we have to give the service the execute permissions. Now it's fine. Now we have to execute this service as such here. And the next it means inactive, and the next is stopped. Now I am going to check the other services like whether they are running or not. Nginx is inactive mode. Now I am going to check the another service. Let us suppose if I am trying with some other services like cron, whether checking whether cron is there active or not. You can check, execute it. Yeah, cron is active and running. How we can check in other way? We have sudo systemctl status cron. Okay, command not found. Why? Okay, I have made a systemctl. Yeah, it's running. Fine. So either we can check from here, it's active and running, or we can run the script from here dot slash this cron is active and cron is running. Fine. That's how we can monitor it in real time as well. So these three I have tried to explain. The first one I have tried to explain the how we have to check the disk usage, then after how we have to automatically take the backup and have to move it to a particular directory. And at last I have tried to explain the how we have to check the service status as well. Fine. So these all basically comes under the devs practical examples. So moving to the next one is basically the advanced shell scripting part. So in that pass, I will try to cover the array and string part here. Array, strings, and cron. These three. After that, we will done the session for today. So just firstly, I will try to explain the array parts here. So for array, for like array, I will tell you one thing like what is array, like how it's used in bash scripting here. So in bash scripting, an array is basically used to store the multiple values in a single variable. In which it means how we are basically For what purpose we are basically using array? So array is basically we use to store the variables, multiple variables in the same variables. That's why we have to basically use the array here. And each value in the array is accessed during the index here. And those indexing is basically start from the zero. How we have to declare array? We have to declare array like this. Like if we have to create a fruits variables and have to put like apples, mango, banana, orange. This is the way through which we can declare the arrays here. Fine. After that, how we have to access those arrays element? We have to use for accessing first, we have to use $0, dollar fruits zero. It means index position is zero, index position is one, two, and three like this. Zero, one, two, three. Fine. That's why for zero it's printed apple, for one it's printed mango, for two it's printed banana. Fine. So this is the way through which we can access the arrays. And this indexing is always start from zero. In the same manner, whenever we have to print all those elements, how we can do? We just have to mention that fruits at the rate here. Fine. Or fruit star. Both are fine. With the help of both, it's going to print all those elements of array. If we have to print the length of the arrays, in that case, we have to use hatch. Fruits at the rate, and before that, we have to mention hatch here. For accessing index numbers, how we have to? We have to mention this, not symbols here, negation symbols here. Fine. And if we want to add some element to the array, we have to just use fruits plus grapes. Let us suppose if you want to add grapes here, it's basically going to be appended at the last. Fine. That's why the new array has becomes apple, mango, banana, orange, and grapes. Fine. And we can try to use the looping as well through the array with the for loops. So for fruits in this echo fruit, so it's going to like loop is basically we trying to use the all elements inside that arrays. Likewise, you can use this. Then after basket 15, this is fine. Original, okay. Okay, this is fine. That's why it's mentioned here. Declare array. This I will try to show you it on terminal how it's working. After that, I will explain you string this portion. Okay. Firstly, I will show you about the arrays here. For array, I am going to use here array.ssh. Fine. We have to mention here shim. In the first case, how we have to declare, like how we have to declare array. Let us suppose if we have to declare the array, we have to mention like if fruits is equal to then fruits is equal to then inside that a small bracket we have to mention or like first one is let us suppose apple, after that mango, then after banana, then after orange. Fine. It means these are the we have basically declared the array. Fine. Now, if you want to print those array, what we have to use? We have to use either echo, then dollar inside that curly braces. We have to put the variable's name, and after that, we have to mention either you use a star or we use at the rate here. Fine. Just save it and chmod user plus execute access to array. Fine. Now it means it just printed all apple, mango, banana, and orange. Fine. Up to this is fine. It means we have just printed the array. Fine. Now what I have to do, I will have to do a bit modification here. In the next session, like what I want to do, let us suppose if I want to fetch the first or second element. So echo first element, first element, how we have to fetch? We have to put the fruits here, and inside that square bracket we have to put zero index here, first index. Fine. Likewise, we have to mention for second element as well. Second element fruits. For second element, we have to put index 1. And after that, I'm going to print all the elements as well. Echo all elements. For all elements, we have to mention like f fruits. For all, we have to mention here either at the rate or a star. Fine. Up to this is fine. Just save it and run it. Dot slash array. It means in the first cases, okay, 1 second. I'm going to now dot slash array. Fine. In the first case, it just print the all. This is the case. After the first element is apple, second element is mango. First is apple, second is mango. All elements are apple, mango, banana, and orange. Fine. Okay. What I want now, I want to add what? Let us suppose if you want to print the indexes. Fine. How we can do? We have to use here echo. Then after indexes, indexes. Then after inside that curly braces, it should be fruits all, and before that we have to mention negation symbols here. Fine. Just press enter WQ and slash array C. It means indexes are 0, 1, 2, 3. Fine. It means it basically print the indexes of all those. For apple index is 0, for mango index is 1, for banana index is 2, and for orange index is 3. Likewise, we can do for other things as well. Like let us suppose if you want to print the number of length of the array, in that case we have to use here number of elements is equal to length of array. Length of array. For length of array, we have to use here dollar. Inside that curly braces, we have to mention here fruits at the rate fine, and before that we have to mention hash symbols here. Fine. Int dot slash array. It means the length of array is 4 because we have 4. Apple, mango, banana, and orange. 4 are there. Okay. Length also done. Now whenever we have to add a new element, in that case let us suppose if I'm adding grapes here. How we can do fruits plus equal to what we are adding? We are adding grapes here. G- Grapes here. Fine. And after that, I am going to print echo after adding element. After after adding elements, echo fruits at the rate. Fine. Paste enter WQ. Now dot slash array. It means after adding elements, the grapes also show is basically showing at the last. Apple, mango, banana, orange, and then after grapes. Grapes has been added. Okay. Now what I want to let us suppose I want to update some element. Like in the first place, mango is there. Fine. I want to replace those mango with some pineapples. Fine. How we can do? We have to update like fruits. At which positions we want to update? We are basically updating at first position. With whom? With pineapple. With pineapple. Fine. And after that we have to print what? Let us suppose if I am printing after updating index 1. After updating index 1 echo dollar this fruits at the rate. Fine. WQ, and I'm going to use the same thing. So after updating one, just see this mango has been changed to pineapples here. Banana are same, orange are same, and grapes are same. First element apples are also same. Only the mango has been changed to pineapple because I have updated the first index to pineapples here. Fine. Okay. Now what I want, let us suppose if I want to remove some elements here, what I have to use? Yes. We have multiple options there. Let us suppose if you want to remove the second index element is banana. I want to remove those. How we can do? We have to use here unset here, like unset, then after fruits, and have to put their index here, which index I want to remove. I want to remove index 2 here. Fine. Now we have to print here echo after deleting index 2. After deleting index 2, fine. What I want to print? I want to print those all fruits, fine. Colon WQ. Now slash array enter. It means after deleting these, just see banana has been deleted. It means apple. Just observe these and these. This banana has been deleted. That's why after pineapple, orange has came. Fine. Okay. Now for array, I'm going to add one more things here. What I want, let us suppose, I want to loop through the array, like how we can do. So firstly, we have to echo something like this so that the things will get clarity here. So let us suppose I'm mentioning looping looping through array. Fine. Okay, what I want. So I have to apply the conditions like for fruit in which, for fruit in what? For fruit in this, like if fruits, fine. For fruits in this echo dollar fruit, dollar fruit, and done. Fine. It means I have used the for loops here. For fruits in this print fruits. It's basically going to print all those fruits here. Okay, y colon wq enter array here. It means looping through loops. It means first printed apple, then pineapple, then orange, then grapes. Fine. Okay. Now, what I want one more conditions here. It means I want to loop through using index as well. How we can do? Firstly, we have to mention here like looping using indexes. Fine. Yeah, index. This is fine. How we can do looping using index? We have to follow the same things again. Like for I in, then after have to mention the same things here. Like here we have to mention fruits here, fruits. Then after inside that square bracket we have to put here at the rate here. And one thing that we have to do, like whenever we are looping using the index, we have to put here negation symbols as well, just at the beginning here. Fine. And after the same things like do echo dollar foot dollar I. Fine. Or here we have to mention one thing like I'm basically trying to print the output in different manner like index dollar I, then after it should print like fruits dollar I. Fine. And then done. Escape colon WQ. Now just use this. Just see looping using indexing means index 0 at apple, index 1 at pineapple, index 3 at orange, and index 4 at grapes. It means in the first cases we have just loop without indexing. In the second cases we have just looping using the indexing. Just observe the script here. This is the first case and this is basically the second. Only difference is there. I have done a bit modifications here. Here I have mentioned the index as well. And for those I just have mentioned dollar I. It means if it is a case of 0, it means it's going to print the first index element. Likewise. So in the same manners we can basically slice the array as well. For slicing array, I will show you that case as well. Like where array. For slicing, let us suppose array slicing we have to mention, let us suppose echo what I want. So if I want to print something like dollar fruits at the rate, and I want to slice from first till second, two more steps. Fine. Just observe the result, like how it's working here. Dot slash array. It means one column two. It means it basically be going to print only first and second. Fine. It will start from first index and it will go two steps there. That's why it's printed pineapple and orange here. And if I am doing a bit modification here in place of two, I am just mentioning three here. Just observe the result here. It means it starts from the first index and it's basically going to print the three years. Pineapple, orange, and green. Fine, got it. I think you got the clarity here. So if you are mentioning this here, like I will show you the if I am mentioning here zero, it will start from zero index. As we have mentioned here one, it means it will start from first index element. That's why the output would look like pineapples here. Three, it means the total how many steps it will move forward. It is step three steps forward, first step, second step, third steps. That's why it consider basically three elements here. So this is basically array slicing. And lastly, like whenever we have to get the length of a specific element, we can also do like this as well. I will show you that portion as well. This is basically the last condition of this array. So array, what I want to echo, I want to print the length of first element, let us suppose to length of first element. Fine. Here we have to mention like this. So have to mention like the same things like for first what we are doing. For first we are doing fruits and inside that square bracket we have to put zero here. First element it means zero index element. And for length we just have to mention here hash symbol. Fine. This is fine. No worries. Just save it and just execute it. Just see the length of first element is 5. What is the first element? First element is apple here. The total length is 5 now. I will try with second element length. Just check how it's working here. Only we have to do a bit modification here. In place of 0, we have to put 1 here. Fine. Okay. Column WQ, just execute it. It means the length of first element is, it means here the second element is 9. Just observe how many characters are there. 9 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 characters are there. That's why the length is 9 here. So I think you got the clarity like how this array is basically be used here. I will show you a complete script. I will in a single slide. This is basically a complete script is there from here till here. Fine. So it's very like I have tried to cover all those possibility of those array, like how we are fetching a particular element, how we are fetching a all element, indexing, slashing, adding, updating, looping, everything, slicing, everything from the array. Okay, now the next thing is array completed. Now the next is string operation. Strings are also used in the same manner. So I will try to cover that portions as well. So for strings, have to create one string.ssh, fine, and here I have to mention the same bin bash here. So let us suppose if I have created a variable for the strings like DevOps engineer, fine, DevOps engineer, this is fine. And inside that, let us suppose if we want to echo what are the strings, echo strings $str, then after for length in the same manner str, but here before str we have to put h here because we are basically calculating the length here. After that, whenever we have to do a substrings here, in case of substrings, what we have to put? In case of substring, let us suppose I want the substrings to be from first like zero place and it will take a character 6 here. Fine. I will show you like how the output would be look like. And in the next things, I will try to cover the uppercase and lowercase as well. Like for uppercase, what we are doing for uppercase, we are basically fetching those strings here, and we just have to mention here double caret here, fine. And for lowercase, we have to mention this commas here. Now we have to run this. Just try this one. Chmod. I want to give to user execute permission to my string script. Fine. I think I got the clarity here. Now clear the skin and have to execute the string script here. It means our string we are DevOps engineer, so string is there. Total how many lengths are there? 15. 15. It will take the tabs as well. Substring it means at that I will show you the complete script here. It means here I will use the substring. It means 0 to 6. It means 0, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. That's why it has printed DevOps here. Fine. If I will start from first, then it will take from E. If I will start from second, it will take from here. Got now? In uppercase, it means it just convert all the our string in uppercase and in lower cases. Fine. Upper cases is lower cases done, uppercase also, substring also done, length also done. Now let us suppose if I want to replace the DevOps with some other word like cloud, how we can do this also I will try to explain. And one more, like whenever we have to concatenate, like whenever we have to add two strings, in that case how we can do. I will try to cover these both as well. So clear the strings portion here. So mm, in the first, like whenever we have to replace, so echo, let us suppose echo, and inside echo we are putting like replacing a string. Fine. What we are replacing? We are basically trying to replace the string DevOps with the cloud. Fine. These things we want to do. It means we want to replace the DevOps with the cloud in a particular string. Now press enter colon WQ. Now run those script here. It means those string DevOps has been replaced with the cloud here. Fine. Okay. I am I'm doing one more thing, like let us suppose if I'm created a first string as artificial and second string as intelligence. Fine. And I want to add those. So firstly we have to create one more variable result. Inside it we have to string first. We have to concatenate string first, then after string second, both concatenate it, then have to print some echo con concatenated string and have to results fine. Now colon wq. Now I'm going to run those strings here. Just see. Okay, what command phone concatenated? What went wrong here? Okay. I have done a mistake here. Now fine. We have put there especially that's why it's not working at that times. It means those artificial intelligence, these two strings are just concatenated. So that's all about the strings part here. So in the string operation, I have tried to cover those like how we are basically trying to get the length of a string, how substrings, uppercase, lowercase, how we are particularly replacing a particular strings here, then how we are concatenating two strings, these things. And the last one is cron automation. Like cron automation, like whenever we have to run the script automatically, how we can do? Firstly, we can create a script, fine. Then after we have to go to cron tab -e. We have basically three options. Like cron tab -e, it means it is used to edit a cron jobs. Cron tab -l, it means it's going to list all cron jobs. Cron tab -r, it means it's just going to remove all cron jobs here. So firstly, you have to write a shell script there. Fine. Then after you have to open the cron tabs here with cron tab -e. Then have to put the inputs in this minutes here. Here 5 stars are there. Fine. I will tell you like what the significance of 5 stars are there. After that 5 stars, you have to put an absolute path for that particular script. Fine. Always try to put the absolute path rather than the relative path. Fine. So like 5 stars are there. 5 stars, it means first star is basically represent a minute from 0 to 59 minutes. Fine. Second star basically represent the hours, which is from 0 to 23. Third star basically represent the days of month. It means 1 to 31. Fourth star basically represent the month, which is from 1 to 12. And fifth and last star basically represent the days of week, which is 0 to 7. For Sunday, it should be 0, and for Saturday it should be 7 like this. Fine. So let us suppose if it's mentioned like 32, it means this 30 is minute and this 2 is hour. It means those like backup.ssh, those script is basically be going to run at 2:30 a.m. every day. Fine. These here nothing is have like here no digits are there. It means those script is going to be executed at every week, every month, on every day at 2:30 p.m. am. Fine. That's why the significance of this is like this script like backup.ssh is basically be going to run at 2:30 am every day. Fine. If it's mentioned like this, it means the particular string is going to be executed in every minute. Star slash 5, it means it's going to be run at every minute, every 5 minutes. 0, it means every hours. 00, it means every day at midnight. Likewise, you can try with some other, like you have so many possibility are there. The only thing that you have to keep in your mind, like whenever you are trying to execute any like a script, you have to follow this. Like you have to remember this flow. The first one for minute, then after hour, then after days, then after month, and days of week. Fine. Minute, hour, days, month, week. Like this, you have to remember. So that's all about the cell scripting part. So I have tried to cover all those possibilities there. So just go to there, like these were basically the agendas whenever I was starting the sessions here. So I have tried to cover all, like I have tried to cover the cell scripting parts, variables, how we are taking the inputs from the users, command line argument, conditional statements, and iterative statement. Then after I have tried to cover the functions portion as well. Then case or switch statements, how we are debugging the shell scripting parts in some advanced shell scripting concept. So in these sessions, I will try to cover all those uh, things from the shell scripting part. So even if you have doubt, you are feel free to ask me anytime and just ask in your comments as well. I will try to answer your query. So bye bye. Please do practicing because shell scripting is something if you are not practicing the you wouldn't get clarity. So only the practice is something which gives you clarity and which gives you much more confidence in this shell scripting path. And as this shell scripting is very essential for DevOps, so you should have to practice a bit more, especially in these cases here. So please do practicing and have any if you have any doubt, then feel free to ask me in comments as well. Bye bye. Take care.